Okay, so kung meron tayong energy currency ng cell, which is through ATP, meron pang second currency yung cell expressed in terms of its reducing power. So, in a few slides, makita natin kung anong ibig sabihin nitong reducing power na to, pero mahalaga din siya sa cells natin. So, familiar tayo sa ATP or adenosine triphosphate. So, it's called the energy currency of the cell. Tapos, pag ang pinag-uusapan naman is reducing power, ang ginagamit dyan is one of your electron carriers, which is NADPH or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. So, saan kailangan itong reducing power? So, primarily, ginagamit sila in reductive biosynthetic pathways. So, mas kailangan sila sa anabolism side ng metabolism. So, one of the examples is the synthesis of fatty acid. So, sa paggawa ng fatty acid ng cells natin, primarily your liver, for example, mammary glands, adipocytes, kailangan nila yung NADPH para makapag-synthesize sila ng fatty acids. The precursor is acetyl-CoA, pero para mangyari yung reaction, kailangan nila yung reducing power, which is again in equivalence of NADPH. So saan kukunin itong NADPH? So yun yung pathway na i-discuss natin sa lesson na to, which is called the pentose phosphate pathway. In some references, they refer to this pathway as an alternative pathway for glycolysis. Alternative pathway for glucose. So instead na ipasok yung glucose sa glycolysis, sa pentose phosphate pathway siya idadaan. Some references would look at your pentose phosphate pathway as a branch point of your glycolysis. But, yun nga, for organs that synthesize a lot of fatty acids, a big percentage of the glucose found in them, in those kind of cells, are channeled in the pentose phosphate pathway. So, limbawa nga, sa mga liver natin, liver cells, fat cells, mammary glands, so around 30% ng glucose nila ay pumupunta sa pentose phosphate pathway. So, ito yung nagpo-provide ng NADPH para makapag-synthesize sila ng fatty acid. Now, aside from that, meron din isa pang important process na pinagagamitan nitong reducing power, and that is in the function of your glutathione or GSH. So glutathione is a small peptide. So it's actually composed of 3 amino acids. So ang glutathione natin, ang importance niyan is siya yung nagre-react with radical species or radical compounds sa loob ng cells, whether endogenously produced or due to some external factors, dumadami yung radicals. So if you recall or if you know, radicals are species na merong unpaired electron, at least one pair, at least isang unpaired electron. So dahil meron silang electron na walang kapares, they tend to react with any compound na ma-encounter nila. So, ang gagawin nila is kukuha sila ng isang electron dun sa compound na yon para may ka-pair na yung unpaired electron nila. So, that is toxic, okay, to our cells. Kasi pwede nilang i-attack yung phospholipids, for example. Kung nasa loob na sila ng cell, pwede nilang i-attack yung DNA. So, yung defense mechanism ng cells natin is glutathione. So, si glutathione, meron siyang reduced form. So, yun yung GSH dito. Tapos, pag magre-react siya with reactive oxygen species or yung mga radicals nga natin, it becomes oxidized. So, kailangan mo ng dalawang glutathione magre-react with one reactive oxygen species. So, ito yung nagpo-produce ng radicals. Then, it will create the oxidized form of glutathione. So essentially, yung dalawang moles ng glutathione mo, meron kasi siyang cysteine residue dyan. So yung cysteine nilang dalawa magfo-form ng disulfide bridge. So yun yung kanyang oxidized form. Now, syempre, kung continuous yung consumption ng GSH, like tuloy-tuloy lang siyang nagre-react with the reactive oxygen species, mawawala yung defense mechanism, right? So, kailangan mong i-replenish yung iyong supply ng GSH. So, kailangan din doon ng NADPH, which again, ang primary source niya is the pentose phosphate pathway. Okay? So, yung pentose phosphate pathway or PPP or yung ibang references, ang tawag sa kanya is hexose monophosphate shunt. Okay? Meron siyang 3 stages. Overall, yung overall reaction ng pentose phosphate pathway, kailangan niya ng 6 na glucose 6-phosphate. So yung glucose 6-phosphate, tatlong glucose 6-phosphate. So 'di ba pag pumasok yung glucose sa cell, ipo-phosphorylate lang siya para hindi na siya ulit lumabas. So either ipapasok niya yan sa glycolysis or sa pentose phosphate pathway. Now for 3 moles of glucose 6-phosphate, you generate 6 moles of NADPH, 3 moles of carbon dioxide, and then meron ka pang metabolites na pwede mong ipasok sa glycolysis. So, 2 fructose 6-phosphate and isang glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So, ano yung 3 stages ng pentose phosphate pathway? So, first is the oxidative stage. So, nangyayari lang sa oxidative stage, ang aim niya is to produce the NADPH. So, dito tayo nagkakaroon ng reduction ng NADP+. So, ito yung oxidative stage. First 3 steps ng pentose phosphate pathway. So, yung arrows dito, kaya ganyan yung itsura ng arrows kasi ibig sabihin, 3 molecules ng glucose 6-phosphate yung magre-react. So, 3 NADP+ din yan, 3 NADPH na na-produce. Okay? So, sa first step, oxidation ng glucose 6-phosphate. So, magiging phosphogluconodelta lactone. In the process, 3 NADPH ang na-produce. And then, you have phosphogluconolactonase. So, from gluconolactone, magiging phosphogluconate siya. And then, another redox reaction sa step 3. So, meron ka ng ribulose 5-phosphate. 3 din yan. And for this step, 3 NADPH din yung na-produce. So, in total, you get 6 NADPH. Tapos, meron ding carbon dioxide na na-release sa third step. 3 carbon dioxide din yan. So, yung ating carboxylate functional group dito sa 6-phosphogluconate na decarboxylate siya. So, 3 carbon dioxide yan. So, that is the oxidative stage or the first phase of your pentose phosphate pathway. Tapos, yung second stage naman niya, ang aim lang niya is to transform your ribulose 5-phosphate into 2 metabolites, either ribose 5-phosphate or cellulose 5-phosphate. Kasi, yung next stage ng pentose phosphate pathway, ang gagawin lang niya is a process that they often call carbon recycling. So kasi 'di ba, ano lang ba yung aim ng pentose? Ano yung main objective ng pentose phosphate pathway? Ma-generate yung NADPH. Pero paano naman yung carbon skeletons or yung carbon chain nitong mga molecules na pinasok mo sa pentose phosphate pathway? So, syempre, kailangan i-recycle yan ng cell para meron pa rin siyang makuhang energy from these carbon atoms. So, after niyang gawing ribose 5-phosphate or cellulose 5-phosphate, dito na magkakaroon ng carbon rearrangement. So, ang maganda dito is, or ang magandang approach ay tingnan natin yung kung ilan yung carbon atoms na involved. So halimbawa, si ribose 5-phosphate, 5 carbons yan. Tapos si cellulose 5-phosphate, 5 carbons din. Then meron tayo ditong sixth step sa pathway. So magko-combine yung dalawa, not exactly combine, but magre-reshuffle yung carbons nila. Ang ending, you get a 7-carbon compound, seduheptulose 7-phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, which is a 3-carbon compound. So, itong glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, pwede mong ipasok sa glycolysis, right? However, itong 3-carbon at 7-carbon compounds na to, pwede rin silang mag-react, so that's step 7, producing a 6-carbon compound, which is fructose 6-phosphate, and then erythrose 4-phosphate, which is a 4-carbon compound. Tapos, yung xylulose 5-phosphate natin dito, pwede rin siyang mag-react with your erythrose 4-phosphate. So that is a 5-carbon compound and a 4-carbon compound. Ang product is a 6-carbon compound, which is also fructose 6-phosphate, and a 3-carbon compound, which is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So, ang ending niyan is meron kang metabolites na pwede pa rin i-channel sa glycolysis. And another thing that can be mentioned here is yung pathway na to, nagpo-produce siya ng erythrose 4-phosphate, ribose 5-phosphate, which can be used in the synthesis of your nucleotides. So pagdating natin sa metabolism ng nucleotides, may encounter ulit natin itong compounds na to, and dapat makonect natin sila sa pentose phosphate pathway. So again, pentose phosphate pathway provides reducing power in the form of NADPH and also provides metabolites for other pathways. Meron siyang pwedeng ibigay sa glycolysis and meron din siyang pinoprovide na precursor for nucleotide synthesis. So ito yung carbon rearrangement na pwedeng mangyari. So dalawang 5-carbon and then magiging 3 and 7. Tapos yung 3 and 7 magiging 4 and 6. And then meron tayong 5 and 4 na magiging 3 and 6. So yan din yung nakita natin kanina. Overall, the scheme looks like this. Okay, so ang ending nga is you get your fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, so if we look at the connection between your glycolysis and your pentose phosphate pathway, so after the first step of glycolysis, pwede siya dito pumasok sa pentose phosphate pathway. But again, eventually, yung ibang metabolites dito, pwedeng bumalik sa glycolysis. Kaya nga yung isa pang tawag sa kanya is hexose monophosphate shunt. And then, again, meron tayong oxidative stage sa pentose phosphate pathway and non-oxidative stage. Okay, so aside from providing NADPH, your pentose phosphate pathway also provides precursors for nucleotides, coenzymes, and your nucleic acids.